All right, all right, all right. Here we go. Hi guys. So I felt the need to do a little something here. It's the first time I've had to address something like this, but I feel like it's very important, especially when people are inside of other discords, understanding risk management and how to appropriately gauge your trade and knowing when to cut. Okay. So first things first, me as a person inside of another discord, I may take a trade with someone, but I know what my risk is immediately. Okay. So if I'm entering a trade and let's say I'm dropping $100 on this trade, I'm willing to risk 30 to 50 of those dollars, depending on what I am looking at as I am looking at the chart, right? I'm looking at the candle structure. Um, you may not, you may have a higher tolerance or whatever the case is, but here in Clarity to Capital, I need you guys to definitely understand that I am not telling you ever or suggesting ever to get into a zero DTE. When I tell you about SPX, if I tell you about SPY, if I tell you about QQQ, NDX, Dell, IWM, QCOM, I am never getting into same day trades. I do not do that. I don't care for it, especially not with what we have going on in the market and in the world right now. Okay. So let's talk a little bit more. This morning, before market open, I, placed the fib here on Apple. Okay. So the fib was placed on Apple previous day, and I knew what I was looking for. I think at the time, I wanted us to break above and to get into this range here, the 78th percentile. So I told people that if we break above 310, you could ride that up to 311. If we break and hold above 311, then you could ride that up to 314. So I'm going to drop this down to a lower time frame and show you exactly what that would have looked like and when you could have cut. Okay, so let's take this down all the way to the 1 minute. Let's do that because I had someone comment. I was like, all right, guys, how'd the trading day go? Tell me the good, the bad, the ugly, blah, 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 blah. I had a person say, oh, I took the Apple trade and I lost unnecessary money. You should never be losing unnecessary money in any Discord. Absolutely not. Not allowed. Okay. Because if a trade is given, but the trade does not hold, definitely should not be entering. Just. So let's take a look here. I'm zooming in. Boom, boom, boom. We finally break and held. And actually, I like the 3 minute, and maybe all of this would have been very helpful for them, right? Or for anybody. So this is why I'm creating this video. So here's Apple. All right. And I gave notice for 310 and writing that up to 311. So this is where the person should have entered right here. And this is at 10:57, 10:58. Preferably when we came back down and retested 310 and we would have rolled that up to 311.37. And it's crazy because we literally this is why I utilize the fibs because institutional traders pay heavy attention and set their orders and their limit orders, etc., and liquidity grabs and all of that, and order block. Like it is set by fibs. I kid you not. So I said that if we were not able to break and hold over 311, okay, that was it. But a break and hold. So what does a break and hold look like? Well, this is a break and this is a hold. So it might take you 2 3 minute candles. It may take you 6 1 minute candles, but you want to see a candle print above a line and close and then stay above the line and continue to move forward. So this would have been a dollar move and I would have gotten this on a 1 DTE and maybe a couple of contracts, okay? And so if we would have done that, then let's say you're on a 3 minute time frame. This candle right here, me as a trader, I would not have liked this candle. And as soon as we came back into this range right here, as soon as I came back into this range right here, I would have immediately closed it out. Now, these two taps right here, again, tell me I need to exit. We are not breaking this level. We could have had two taps, three taps, four taps. The more times we tap a fib level and we're not able to break through it, I immediately know that I need to go ahead and close this. Now, mind you, when I enter, I have a stop loss. So if you are trading and you are on Webull, if you are on Think or Swim. If you are on Robinhood, there is a stop loss feature. If you have not become familiar with the stop loss feature, that is something that you need to do for your sanity. I mean, because at any given moment, while we were in this trade, beyond the whole scope of we went to this fib and rejected, we could have received some type of crazy bad news about war or anything that could have sent this stock spiraling. So, despite the fact that I have an eye for levels and breaks and holds, I need you guys in this Discord to also take responsibility for your trades and knowing when you are going to hold and when you are going to cut, and now even utilizing this example that I'm giving you. So let's take a look at another trade. I will give you one. Let's say, let's go to UNH. All right. So let's just say I'm going to go to the daily time frame, and if we were in morning, what is it, pre-market analysis, okay? Now on UNH, the previous day candle definitely gave, this was a higher low, and that I loved it. I was like, okay, maybe UNH is going to break in and go up, okay? But guess what UNH decided to do? She decided to come into this day and drop. So placing the fib here and here, I would have been telling people the same thing if I would have had her on my list, but I really wasn't paying UNH any attention. I would have been saying, okay, so if we're coming into the day starting beneath the low of yesterday, you could do aggressive entry after the break of the 50%. And then we will do either the 61 up to the 1, or we would do the 78% up to the 1. If we can break and hold above that, now we are going to ride that up, okay, to the 1.618. Break and hold. Now, let's just say I would have said if we can break and hold over um, 0.618, that's when you take your trade. You see how we never made it? You would not have taken a trade. Now, for example, let's just say we were down here when we started, and I'll go into this and see where were we, but I don't even think we were down this low. And then I would have said, okay, a break and hold above zero point 0.5, we're going to ride that up. Let's see what that would have looked like for you to know that that was invalidated, because I don't own the stock market and anything can happen. Okay, so believe it or not, this ticker came in at the 61% and she kept falling. Okay. But let's just say we would have came in down here. Like ignore all of that beginning part. Let's say this was the start of the 930 candle. And I said once we break and hold above 381.18, we are going to go ahead and enter the trade. You see how we did not hold up here? We didn't break it. We didn't hold it. Okay. You see what I'm saying? Again, we're not choosing zero DTE. I don't even think UNH offers you zero DTE. I'm going to look at one more trade to see if I could give you a better example of what I mean when I am guiding people on trades. All right, so here we go. This is 9:30 a.m. candle. So let's just say I would have been like, all right, y'all. So once we break above what you guys see, I already have it marked, right? Once we break above 163.20, I would like for us to move up to 165.35. If we can break and hold that, let's move it up to 167.98. We would have seen the break and hold of this level officially on that candle, not the candle that's going through it, the hold candle. So at 9:51 a.m., we would have been able to capitalize off of this move from 163.20 up to 165, which is a $2 move. Then you would have proceeded to see that we were going to break and hold above the next level I gave you. Great. Oh my God, we stalled. The moment that we start to fall, and we break back beneath the low of the previous candle, you should not be holding the bag. If you have your stop loss in place, you will not be holding the bag. Okay. So, with that being said, I need you guys to really, really, really focus on break and holds, what that means. And I'm gonna be real with you. It's funny. At least I tell people break and hold, and then we're gonna move to this level and that level, because there's a lot of discords and people that do not do that. They literally just tell you Apple calls. and then you figure it out the best way you can. We got to be smarter than that. That's what Clarity to Capital is about, me teaching you guys so that you can even survive inside of other discords. When someone is giving you a call out, they are not God. They are not God of the stock market. They are not all knowing. You have to know the risk. You have to have your risk management in place, and you have to keep your head on a swivel on an intraday trade. Now, if you are taking a swing, it is okay to take that swing and hold it because your contract is going to expire on Friday or next week or whatever the case is. But if you are not swinging and you're intraday trading, you need to know the risks associated with taking that trade. Lastly, inside of Clarity to Capital, I do not do zero DTEs. Do not ever choose zero DTEs in Clarity to Capital. Okay. So that's literally my whole disposition on risk management, how to take plays, and this will actually help you in other discords, like I said, to be successful. And as long as the person is giving you a guide, you can go from there. So let's just say you would have played MU with me today because inside of my text alert channel, they actually got MU. The general population got Apple, right? So my thing was, as long as MU breaks above the 50%, let's ride it up to the one. We break and hold. Let's keep it moving. All right. Guess what? MU did just that. We broke above the 50%. We broke and we held. We got here and we stalled. It would have been up to you if you wanted to hold this. We made a slight double top, found support in this area, and took off yet again. Okay. And then we came up to the 1.68, rejected, came back down, came up to it again, came back down. But I mean, the people who traded MU today were very determined, like me. So I did not get shaken out by this stuff, but I also wasn't having a zero DTE theta eat me up. Then we would have moved forward, forward, up, up, up. I caught the entirety of this entire play. And people who are inside of my text alerts, they call that too, right? So that's my disposition on break and holds, knowing if you're going to continue on with the trade or if you're going to go ahead and cut it for a loss. If it's ranging too much, like right up in here, do you really want to hold it? I would never hold a range like that in a zero DTE. I would only hold a range like this in a trade that gives me 3 to 4 days out to trade it. Okay. So, with that being said, that is everything. If you guys have any more questions for me, feel free to hit me up in the chat inside of Clarity to Capital. And again, thank you so much for being a part of the Discord. I hope you guys have a great day.